Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. In this video today we're talking SuperStation 1 because Taki Udon has provided us with some updates. In particular, we're going to talk about cart loading and how it has been improved, and as well as that, how production and assembly is improving, and it looks like lots and lots of you guys are going to be getting your SuperStations very soon. So Taki has definitely received some stick via his socials, and rightfully so, right? You do a project, you say this is when it's going to get released, and then it gets delayed. Even if those factors are out of your control, you're still going to get some stick. But it looks like where production is really leveling up, I feel like lots and lots of units are going to go out to many of you guys that have been patiently waiting for your SuperStation 1 to be delivered. Now I can tell you the SuperStation 1 is a fantastic device. I have 4 MiSTerFPGA devices, and I can tell you this straight away became my favorite, especially with the amount of analog output options it has out of the box, and it just works. So let's have a look at this. So do you remember a little while ago, this was on March the 7th, no, sorry, that's today, August the 31st, 2025, right? Taki Udon shared this. So this is where he says he's been messing around with Nintendo 64 carts on the SuperStation. Speed would need to drastically improve to make this practical. And this is where he's got an attachment, a cartridge reader attached to the SuperStation 1, and he is loading a copy or a cartridge of Super Mario 64. Now it is taking quite long because, guys, one thing about cartridges above everything else was that you put them in and they just load. Now I remember when I was a kid and I had like my Commodore 64, and I went around my friend's house and I saw his NES, and he just put the cartridge in, turned it on, and it was instant. He was gaming within a few seconds, right? I remember at home picking the game on my Commodore 64, loading it, listening to the brr, 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 whatever it was, 5, 10, 20 minutes. It definitely felt like an eternity when you're a kid waiting for that darn game to load. So we want that faster for the SuperStation 1. So it looks like Taki has now got that improved. So I cut this down to 1 to 2 seconds. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and there you go, you are in game. That's a massive improvement. Now the SuperStation 1, you can buy an optional Super Dock. Now the Super Dock lets you run optical media on your SuperStation 1, stuff like the Sony PlayStation. Not limited to that, you can also run stuff like the Sega Saturn on there, the Mega CD, the PC Engine CD. So it's a very versatile dock. As well as that, it's not just a reader, it's also a writer, which means you can connect it to your PC and burn media. Many of us don't actually have an optical drive these days. In fact, I'm trying to think where I've got an optical drive. I don't think any of my PCs have that on there anymore, right? So that's really cool. It just means we've got a drive should we need to burn something and use it for something else rather than its main intended purpose. So with the inclusion of this cartridge now, well, not really inclusion yet, but with this news of this cartridge now loading up very quickly, 1 to 2 seconds, sounds really good. And it'll be interesting to see if we can get an attachment after for the SuperStation 1, because it does have a port for the Super Dock at the bottom. Maybe there's something else that you can string along to it and run cartridges, or will it be one of other Taki Udon's follow-up projects that will run cartridges? Like we've got a disc-based system, maybe he's going to do a cartridge-based system. But it looks really cool, and you know, well done Taki for getting it down to 1 to 2 seconds. Just remember, guys, whatever you order, if it says it's going to be 6 months, in your head times it by at least 2, because delays are pretty much inevitable in retro gaming, but especially FPGA gaming. But let's look at some of the other things here. So this is really cool here from Taki Udon, where Taki Udon says we are now assembling shipping SuperStation version 123 wave 4 in the second office. We have 14 testing stations, 16 to 32 spots for assembly and packing. To put it into context, we only had a single testing station for wave 1 and only had enough space for 4 people to assemble. So that's really cool. I wonder how many staff Taki has got now. I mean, a lot of times you can hire temporary staff to do assembly work, so maybe he's hiring some temporary staff. But what's really cool over here, you can see lots and lots of SuperStation 1s over here before being put into the shell. It's absolutely fantastic. So I think what's happened here is where the delays were in with production with the manufacturer, now everything's kind of nailed down. There's lots of SuperStation 1s there that are being assembled. So I think lots and lots of you guys are going to be very happy. There you go. If you order the grey one, there's the grey shell. Lots of you guys are going to be really happy because you are going to be getting your SuperStation 1 sooner rather than later. I just feel we're at that part now where everything's just being combed out, and all the kind of work is done on this. Now it's just production, assembly, and shipping, which means Taki can move on to other things, because I did do a video talking about where Taki wants to move over to the handheld, and that's what I'm really waiting for. And just this part here. So Wave 3 had 12 testing stations, but we needed to stop testing to use the same space for assembly. So this is a massive upgrade. So guys, good stuff there. Absolutely amazing to see this cart stuff happening. I know the guys over at Hervieux, MiSTer Multi-System 2, are looking to do cartridges as well. They're going to be releasing a Game Boy, I think it's Game Boy DMG and Game Boy Color, with the hope of kind of making advances on Game Boy Advance. But seeing this from Taki looks fantastic. I wonder to myself, what other cartridge systems will actually be available and what will work on this system? You know, will we get NES on here? Will we get SNES on here? The Super Nintendo, the Mega Drive, or the Genesis, as you guys like to call it, all other cartridge-based systems. I mean, is it going to be crazy enough to have Hue cards on there? Who freaking knows, man? I mean, anything is possible. So guys, that's kind of it for this video. If you enjoy this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with all things FPGA gaming, then consider subscribing to the channel. Pressing that like button and turning on those notification bells really helps out. And if you feel like so inclined and you want to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon and channel membership options available. Anyway guys, be awesome to one another, play more games. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.